I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Imagine being an idol adored worldwide. Adored, loved, and lifted to the skies by millions of fans who never tire of giving their love. But behind that warm spotlight, there are dark clouds. There are tensions unseen by the public eye. And that's what's happening to one of the brightest stars in the K-pop world, Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS. Hello, K-pop lovers. Welcome to K-pop News, where we uncover the hidden side of the glittering world of idols. Today we'll be discussing a hot topic. Why does HYBE, the giant agency that houses BTS, seem unhappy with the overwhelming amount of love showered upon Taehyung? Taehyung is no stranger to anyone who has followed BTS's journey. He is a symbol of natural charm, undeniable charisma, and sincerity that can touch the hearts of anyone who knows him. With just a small smile, the ocean of ARMY can tremble. Every appearance, every movement, even a glance, his every move always manages to create waves of global hysteria. However, as the spotlight on him increased, a new dynamic emerged that surprised many. HYBE, the agency long known for its professionalism and strategic approach to shaping BTS's image, reportedly expressed dissatisfaction with the situation. Many wondered, why was the fans' sincere appreciation and love a source of concern for management? The answer wasn't as simple as it might seem. Behind HYBE's grand strategy of maintaining BTS's unified image as a single, solid entity, too much attention to one member was perceived as disrupting the internal balance. HYBE had long cultivated the narrative that BTS was a team of equals, not just a collection of individuals shining on their own. And when Taehyung's name began to soar beyond expectations, that balance was shaken. Internal sources stated that HYBE felt that the fanbase's dominance over one member, especially in the context of global popularity, could create jealousy, pressure, and even emotional rifts among the members. They didn't want BTS to be divided by overly lopsided praise. Industry logic dictates that when one face appears more frequently in the media, receives more endorsements, or is the focus of fan attention, an imbalance in the distribution of spotlight and opportunities will emerge. However, herein lies the major dilemma. Taehyung never intentionally sought out more attention. He was simply being himself, showing himself as he was. Fans embraced him not because of a marketing strategy, but because they saw genuine sincerity. They loved Taehyung not because they were asked to, but because they felt a strong connection to him. This situation created an invisible pressure between the agency and the fans. For ARMY, Taehyung was an inspiration, someone they had followed and supported from the beginning. They felt entitled to give him as much love as possible, without limit. But for HYBE, excessive love was a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it brought massive exposure. On the other, it disrupted BTS's internal rhythm. What made the situation even more complex was the fact that Taehyung was not only popular as an idol, but also had a significant impact on the global fashion, art, and pop culture industries. He became the face of luxury brands, appeared in various international media outlets, and became a constantly talked about style icon. All of this, while seemingly individual accomplishments, had the potential to shake the collective harmony that HYBE had built over the years. Yet, amidst all the pressure and doubt, Taehyung remains resilient. He never publicly addresses the issue, but from the way he maintains a smile and warm interactions with fans, we know he's aware of the tension. And perhaps, silently, he's struggling to maintain his identity in a world that wants to mold him into something else. Fans are divided. Some feel HYBE is too controlling. Others understand that maintaining balance in a group as large as BTS is no easy task. But one thing is for sure, ARMY still loves BTS as a whole, and they won't stop supporting Taehyung as long as he remains sincere and dedicated. Interestingly, this phenomenon has also opened up a broader discussion about the relationship between management and artists. Do agencies have the right to dictate how fans love their idols? To what extent is control over an individual's popularity justified? And when is fan love considered excessive? Taehyung now stands at a crossroads between becoming a global icon with immense influence or remaining within the group's balanced lineup. But from what it seems, he's choosing to be himself, without forgetting his roots, and without neglecting his team. However, beneath the complex dynamics between Taehyung's popularity and HYBE's strategy, there's one thing no one can control: the fans' genuine love. That love isn't a mere media construct or promotion, but rather grows from a long journey, from the difficult times they've endured together, from moments where Taehyung appears as a real person, not just a celebrity. This is what makes things even more complicated. HYBE wants to maintain stability, but how can they contain the wave of emotions coming from millions of sincere hearts? How can they tell fans to love in moderation when, to ARMY, every smile of Taehyung's feels like a gift from the world? And the questions that begin to arise aren't just about internal balance, but also about trust. Does HYBE truly understand the fans' desires? Are they listening, or are they simply trying to control them? Do they see Taehyung as an artist with his own voice, or simply part of a larger strategy that must follow a plan? Meanwhile, Taehyung continues to walk calmly. He doesn't rebel. He doesn't make any shocking statements. But his silence speaks volumes. He continues to create. He continues to warmly greet his fans. And from the way he looks at the camera, stands on stage, or even writes on Weverse, we know he's fighting in his own way. There's a growing awareness among fans that being an idol isn't just about shining on stage, but also about surviving behind the scenes. Being an idol means navigating a world full of pressure, expectations, and sometimes injustice. And Taehyung has proven that he's not only strong, but also intelligent and principled. But will HYBE open their eyes? Will they start changing their approach to influential members like Taehyung? In the digital age, where fans' voices can be heard louder than traditional media, agencies can no longer simply manage from behind the scenes. They must be present, listen, and most importantly, have the courage to change. ARMY doesn't just love BTS for their songs and performances. They love them for the values BTS stands for, about freedom, friendship, the courage to be different, and the courage to love oneself. And when one of their own, like Taehyung, faces pressure for being themselves, fans feel it personally. While HYBE may view Taehyung's popularity as a balance issue, fans see it as proof that Taehyung deserves more space. Space to express himself. Space to grow. Space to be himself, without fear that he will disrupt the stability created by managerial hands. And this is where perhaps the change can begin. Not from pressure, but from awareness. That K-pop is now not just about uniform, controlled groups, but about artists who are authentic and have a real connection with their audience. As a central figure in the modern K-pop world, Taehyung has broken through old boundaries that were previously considered untouchable. He shows that an idol can have personality, freedom, and the power to influence without losing the essence of a team. He is a symbol of a new era, one where the voices of artists and the voices of fans can unite to shape the future of the industry. And while his path has been fraught with pressure, one thing has always been with him: the unconditional love of ARMY. A love that never fades, even when the storms come. A love that serves as a shield when the world tries to mold him into something he is not. Ultimately, it's no longer about popularity or strategy, but about identity and courage. Taehyung has shown that being yourself, even when difficult, is the most beautiful form of resistance. And behind every compliment, every applause, lies the hope of fans. That one day, the world will be fairer for those who choose to be honest. K-pop News will continue to cover this story, because Taehyung's story isn't just about one idol, but about an entire generation who dared to go against the grain and say, "I will remain myself, no matter the cost."